Good afternoon, everyone. Om Sai Ram, respected elders, revered members of the Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai family, distinguished guests, dear students, my brothers and sisters. It is with profound humility and gratitude that I stand before you today in Puttaparthi, the abode of supreme peace. For millions across the world, Puttaparthi is not merely a place on the map. It is a reminder that while the world recognizes us to become successful, spirituality encourages us to become significant. When I was invited to speak on resilience and inner awakening, I reflected upon my own journey, not only as a cricketer and coach, but also as a student of life. I realized that cricket has given me many trophies, many memories, many friends, friendships across the world. But more importantly, it has taught me lessons that no classroom can ever teach me. So what cricket has taught me, it has stayed with me for my entire life, and it will remain with me for my entire life. It taught me the greatest contest is never against another team. It is always against ourselves, our minds. It also taught me one very important lesson, and that is every inning begins with a zero, with a big zero. One of the beautiful truths about cricket is that every player, regardless of reputation, begins every innings at zero. A player who scored a century yesterday begins with a zero today. Likewise, the player who is dismissed for a zero yesterday again starts his innings with a zero today. Life offers us exactly the same opportunity. Each sunrise is a new beginning. Each day is a new beginning. The past may teach us, but it need not imprison us. Sri Satya Sai Baba often reminded us that yesterday is beyond recovery. Tomorrow is uncertain. Today is precious. That is why it is called the present. And I'll give you a small little anecdote on this. When I was small, of your age, say 13, 14, 15, I used to bat for long hours. Never did I realize that life was teaching me the most important lesson, and that is to be in the present. Because I'll tell you, when you bat and you're facing, as Ratnakar Garu said, that when you bat and you're facing a bowler of 140, 145 kilometers an hour, you cannot have your mind in the past. You cannot have your mind posted what's happening in your house, or what's happening in your home, or what is happening with some of your relatives. You cannot have that in your mind. Neither can you have your mind rushing ahead in the future. If you're batting on 80 and that ball is coming at you at 145 kilometers an hour, your mind cannot stay that when will I get my 100? Because it is important to stay in the present. Batting taught me that. Batting taught me that it is the most perfect stage of meditation, because I was in the present. I was watching that ball coming at a high velocity towards me, because I believe that presence is power. Well, let's get to the topic that I was going to touch upon. What is the real meaning of resilience? You know, we often say, oh, he's resilient, or this cricketer is very resilient, or this person is absolutely resilient. What is actually the real meaning of it? People often think resilience means never falling, But that has never been my experience. My experience has taught me that every athlete falls, every team loses, and every leader experiences doubts in his mind. So resilience is not the absence of adversity. It is the refusal to allow that adversity to define you. It is a refusal. I remember a season in 2006 and 7 in the Ranji Trophy, where I was appointed the captain for the very first time. Captaining Mumbai is not an ordinary feat. It's a crown of thorn, I would say. There is an unwritten rule in Mumbai cricket because it has been so successful. I'll give you a little bit of a relevance what I'm talking about. When we talk about Mumbai cricket, 85 times Ranji Trophy has been played in India, 85 times. Out of which Mumbai has won 42 times. Almost 50% of the time. So you can imagine when the Ranji Trophy season starts, invariably Mumbai starts as favorites. So the pressure is immense. And there's an unwritten rule in Mumbai cricket that if you don't win the Ranji Trophy, either the captain changes or the coach changes. So you can imagine the pressure is immense. I was captaining in 2006 and 7. As usual, we did not start well. We lost first 3 games outright. We were 0 points on the table. First game was against Bengal. We lost at Eden Gardens. The second game, we lost against Punjab at Mohali. And the third game, we lost to Hyderabad in Hyderabad. First 3 games, 0 points on the table. There were a lot of talk about, we are going to get relegated. Mumbai is going to get relegated. So from championship talks, we are talking about relegation. So you can imagine the pressure started mounting up. There were a lot of other ex-players from Mumbai sending messages. I got a few messages from some of them, very, very senior, god of cricket almost. And they sent me a message saying that in their lifetime, they would not want to see Mumbai go down and be relegated. So the pressure started mounting up very immensely. After that Hyderabad game, I remember in the dressing room, I stood up and we had a little bit of a talk with the players that it wasn't good enough. There was a hard talk that was given in the dressing room. But I remember things changed in an instant. And it was in the Hyderabad airport lounge when we were sitting together. This I'm talking about in 2006-7. It was well before the WhatsApp university, what you get. Nowadays, every single morning you get good morning messages. It was before that time. There were SMSs. And I remember a person sitting next to me on my left sent me a message, an motivating message, an absolutely motivating message for my team. And I happened to send it to the person on my right. And in that fashion, the message got circulated amongst the players, amongst the coaching staff, and everyone got that message. The mood changed instantly. Like this, the mood changed. And you could make out from the faces of my players that things would change from here on. So I got up in the airport lounge. I got up and I asked all the players, when do you want to practice? Do you want to practice tomorrow? Everyone said 7 a.m. tomorrow morning at Wankhede Stadium. And from that time onwards, I felt that the energy shifted, energy changed. We couldn't have asked for a more difficult start than that one. But there was one thing we never lost. We never lost faith in each other. We never lost trust in each other. We never lost respect for each other. Instead of looking for excuses or blaming individuals, we stayed together as a team. We trusted the process, continued working hard, and focused on playing one match at a time. What followed was remarkable. There is one saying in Marathi, we say, na bhuto na bhavishyate. That kind of a season, I still believe, that has not happened before, neither it will happen ever after. Na bhuto na bhavishyate. And it was because what followed was absolutely incredible. We won every remaining league game outright with a bonus point and somehow qualified for the knockout stage. That was not the end of it. In the semi-finals, in the knockout stage, we were 0 for 5. And I'm not talking about 5 runs on the board and 0 wickets. I'm talking about 0 runs on the board with 5 wickets down. And that 5 wickets included Wasim Jafar, Rohit Sharma, and yours truly, Amol Muzumdar. Most people would have thought that the match, or perhaps our season, is over because it was the semi-finals. But with Baba's blessings, cricket has a wonderful way of reminding us that the game is not over till the last ball is bowled or till the last run is scored. Cricket taught me that. It gave me a great lesson. We fought back, we won the semi-finals, we came back very strongly, and you will not believe this, but few days later than that, we went on to win the Ranji Trophy and the finals too. Well, looking back at the season, it taught me something I've carried throughout my life. Resilience is not built when everything goes according to plan, because we had planned everything. Absolutely everything. We had prepared well. But resilience is built in moments when giving up seems easier than believing in it. Yeah. So there was another season I would like to share this. Now we're talking about resilience. There was another season in 2002, a period when I had lost almost all the hope in this world. I was scoring runs in domestic cricket. I was scoring runs by the ton. I wasn't getting picked for India. I really wasn't getting picked for India. The selectors were ignoring completely. You know, the sport which had always brought me joy had begun to feel like a burden. The effort, my effort, did not match the results that I wanted. I was frustrated. I was dejected. And I felt as if something was killed in my heart. And I was totally down and out. But then somehow, my family stood by me, and they asked me 2 simple questions. Absolutely true, this story. Yeah? 2 simple questions. Why do I play cricket? I answered, because I genuinely enjoy playing this game. I love this game. From the bottom of my heart, I love this game. Then they asked me the second question. What gives you the greatest satisfaction? My answer was equally simple. scoring runs. Scoring runs was like my blood flow. If I didn't score runs, I felt irritated. I felt, something was wrong with me. So the answer was very simple, scoring runs. And then it struck me, and this I'm talking about in 2002, it struck me that there you go. I mean, I play this game because I love this game. And I love, what gives me greatest satisfaction is score runs. It doesn't matter where I score runs. Whether I score runs in my club cricket in Mumbai for Khar Gymkhana or Cricket Club of India, whether I score runs for Andhra Pradesh, whether I score runs for Assam or Mumbai or England in the club cricket that I played over there, or Holland that I played, it didn't matter. The bottom line was to score runs. As simple as that. And a simple answer gave me my satisfaction back. That inner voice gave me enough strength to continue with this sport that I loved so much and enjoyed it for another decade, because I retired not in 2002, because I didn't give up in 2002. I retired in 2012 and 13 season. A full 10 years I played beyond that. I'm getting a little bit of goosebumps, just thinking about that. How did I survive those months? Anyway, the second topic, inner awakening. Whenever I read the Bhagavad Gita, I'm amazed by how relevant it remains for every profession. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, Karmanyavadikarastu ma phaleshu kadachana. You have the right to action alone, never to its fruits. Could there be a better advice for an athlete than that one? Absolutely not. Because we as athletes, we control our preparation. We control our planning. We control our discipline. We control our attitude. But we do not control every result. Sometimes you play your best innings and still you lose. Sometimes fortune smiles upon you. The scoreboard belongs to the game. I realize that. Remember this line, yeah? The scoreboard belongs to the game, not you. But the effort that you put in, that belongs to you. This understanding removes anxiety. This understanding would remove the anxiety in you, and it also removes arrogance. It gives you humility. It makes you more humble. Well, one of the greatest privilege of my life has been coaching the Indian women's cricket team. Winning the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup in India in 2025, which you just saw, was the icing on the cake, was a historic moment. It still gave me, after 8 months down the line, it still gave me a lot of goosebumps. Whenever I watched that one particular video where Harmanpreet Kaur was lifting the World Cup, it gives me goosebumps every time I see that. Not just because we lifted the trophy for the first time, but because the journey that brought us there. India won its maiden Women's ODI World Cup title on home soil after overcoming setbacks during the tournament. Setbacks, I'll tell you, it was not a smooth ride. We won against Sri Lanka, we won against Pakistan in Colombo, and then we had straight 3 losses. The mood was somber again. It was a little down. But the captain, Harmanpreet Kaur, she lifted the side up. She encouraged everyone. We had a great team meeting We built that confidence back again. It was a do or die situation again. We were pushed to the wall. We played against New Zealand. We had to win that match. Otherwise, we were out of the World Cup. It was on the knife's edge. We ended up winning that one, and then we went on to beat Australia in that historic match at D.Y. Patil Stadium. I mean, that was one heck of a match. I'll tell you, 349 we chased. It is the highest run scored or highest run chase in a World Cup match. And I'm talking about any World Cup, whether it is men's World Cup or women's World Cup. Well, people often see the final photograph, the smiles, the celebrations, the trophy held aloft. But they do not always see what lies behind that picture. They do not see the years of sacrifices, the hours spent on practice grounds when no one was watching, the injuries, the disappointments, the criticism, the tears after missed opportunities. Every player carried her own story. Some came from small towns. Some overcame financial hardships. I mean, you will not believe what kind of stories there are in Indian women's cricket team. Unbelievable. Somebody like Richa Ghosh comes from a place called Siliguri, where there is no infrastructure. How did her parents think of making her a professional cricketer? I will never know. Unbelievable stories. Harmanpreet Kaur comes from a place called Moga in Punjab, where hockey is relevant, or hockey is the most favorite sport over there. But she preferred cricket. She has gone on to become the Padma Shri, Harmanpreet Kaur. Somebody like, Sri Charani from Andhra Pradesh, from Kadapa, has become the #1 international bowler in T20 cricket. Wait, I mean, you don't have to go anywhere. It's just next door, Kadapa. Unbelievable success that she has had. And it's a matter of fact, only in a space of, 13, 14 months that she is playing international cricket. She's become the #1 bowler in T20. So there are some amazing stories. Some challenged social expectations simply to play the game they loved. Yet when they wore the India jersey, those individual stories became one collective purpose: to play for the country, to play for India, to play for the tricolor. In the dressing room, we rarely spoke about creating history. We spoke about something much simpler: playing for one another, trusting the process, doing justice to the effort we had invested in. That is when I truly understood that leadership is not about giving inspirational speeches. It is not about inspirational speeches. Leadership is about creating an environment where people believe in themselves and believe in each other. So if you have that environment, I've realized in the last 3 years that I've been the head coach of the Indian women's team, I've realized that the results are a direct reflection of the environment that you create, not just in the dressing room, but also on the ground. So the environment and the ambience that is created by the leadership group is the most critical one. One last story from my end, last one. There is one personal experience that I have rarely spoken about in public, but I feel this is the right place to share it. I was born into a family, a Maharashtrian middle-class family, where Ganpati and Datta Guru were the principal deities we worshipped. in our small mandir that we had, my mother and my father used to pray to the idols were Ganpati and Dattaguru. I grew up participating in family prayers and traditions without questioning them. Then something happened that quietly changed the course of my spiritual journey. It was the afternoon of 14th August, 1987. And I still remember this date to perfection. I was resting at home when I had an extraordinarily vivid dream. Before me appeared a radiant figure. It's in my dream. Clothed in white, surrounded by an indescribable glow. He looked at me with immense compassion and raised his hand in blessing. I was startled. I woke up from my dream. And as my mother came back from office, I narrated it to my mother. And she said, it must have been Sai Baba. That was the first time I heard the word Sai Baba. The experience was so real that I woke up. For several days, I could not erase that image from my mind. It stayed with me in my mind. Then, as if guided by an unseen hand, within the next 15 days, I found myself in Shirdi, standing before Sai Baba's Samadhi for the very first time. I had not planned that visit, neither did my family plan it, but I happened to go there. Yet, looking back today, it feels less like a coincidence, more like a gentle invitation. That moment marked the beginning of a lifelong relationship with Sai Baba. I mean, to be honest, wherever I go now, whether it is in Australia, or whether in England, or whether here, I carry the vibhuti with me wherever I go. And I'm proud of it. And I feel a personal touch when I feel the vibhuti. Whether it is in Adelaide, I carried it. Whether it is in Sydney when we won against Australia, I carried it. Whether it was at Lord's this time around in the test match, I carried this. This goes with me wherever I go. So I personally feel that Baba is with me all the time, wherever I lead. I have always felt that His presence has quietly accompanied me. I do not claim to understand the mysteries of grace, but I have learned that faith often begins not with answers, but with an experience that awakens something within us. Perhaps that is what inner awakening truly is. It is not always dramatic. It does not always arrive through great miracles. Sometimes it begins with a single moment that gently opens the heart and changes the direction of one's life. Looking back over nearly 4 decades, I realized that resilience gave me the strength to continue my journey, but faith gave me that journey its meaning. And for that, I would remain eternally grateful. One little message to all the young ones over here and there as well. To every student present today, do not fear failure. Trust me, do not fear failure. Fear only the possibility of never discovering your own potential. Compete with yourself, nobody else. Compete with yourself. Read widely. Read things widely. Stop scrolling, read widely. Respect your parents. Honor your teachers. Take care of your health. protect your character. Technology will continue changing. Artificial intelligence, trust me on this one, artificial intelligence will continue evolving. The professions of tomorrow may look completely different than what it is today. We don't know. But integrity, compassion, discipline, and humility, these qualities will never become outdated. They are timeless. Because in the end, the scoreboard of life does not ask how many runs we scored. It quietly asks us, how many lives did we touch? With that, thank you for your kindness. Thank you for inviting me over here and allowing me to share my experiences. May Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba's blessings guide us all throughout our lives. Om Shri Sai Ram. Om Shri Sai Ram.